Call the meeting to order. Good evening, everybody. So we will call to order the City Council Successor Agency Financing and Power Authority meeting. City Clerk, could we have a roll call, please?
This is the roll call for the City Council and Authority. Councilmember Christ.
Present.
Johnson. Present. Mann.
Present.
Vice Mayor, Vice Chairman Smith.
Here.
Mayor Chairman Paris. We have a quorum.
Could I have a motion to excuse Mayor Paris?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Any abstentions? Any nays? Now, can we have Chair Sato? Call the Housing Authority, please.
I will call to order the Housing Authority meeting. Roll call, please.
Roll call for the Housing Authority. Agency Director Christ.
Present.
Harvey. Present. Mann.
Present.
Vice Chairman Smith.
Here.
Chair Zetto.
Present.
We have a quorum.
Tonight, if I could have everybody stand, we have from the Spiritual Assembly of the Baha'i of Lancaster, Tracy Malloy. And remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Hello. I'm going to read an invocation. Baha'is don't say amen at the end of the prayer. So at the end of the prayer, I'll just be saying the author of the prayer. His name is Baha'u'llah. If you feel in accord, you're certainly welcome to say amen yourselves. O God, my God, unite the hearts of thy servants and reveal to them thy great purpose. May they follow thy commandments and abide in thy law. Help them, O God, in their endeavor, and grant them strength to serve thee. O God, leave them not to themselves, but guide their steps by the light of thy knowledge, and cheer their hearts by thy love. Verily thou art their helper and their Lord. Baha'u'llah.
Councilwoman Johnson, can you lead us in the flag salute, please?
Please place your right hand over your heart and begin.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. I forgot to remind you, if anyone wants to speak on any agenda items or non-agenda items, we have speaker cards in the back if you could fill them out and turn them in. So, Athlete of the Month, we have Adam Ruggiero. I don't know if I said that right, Adam. Ruggiero? How you doing? Good, good. So let me read some of his background here. Adam is a senior at Desert Christian High School. He is the two-time track and field most valuable player for the Desert Mountain League. Adam was named Outstanding Male Athlete at the prestigious Russell Cup track meet, winning the 300-meter hurdles, long jump, triple jump, while finishing second in the high jump. Adam earned 38 of Desert Christian's 47 points at the meet. Adam won the 2012 CIF Division IV Triple Jump Championship, finished second in the high jump and third in the long jump. In 2011, Adam won the CIF Division IV Triple Jump Championship and was named All-CIF in 4 different events. Are you working on the decathlon now? Shot put, just got to build up that upper body, get the whole thing there. Okay, great. Okay, Adam has accumulated over 30 first-place medals in meets during his career and holds 6 Desert Christian records in schools in Virginia and North Carolina. Adam has a cumulative GPA of 3.7 and will attend Boise State University, where he plans to run track and major in sports science. Adam helped his coach mentor the younger athletes on the team and volunteers as a handyman for the elderly. So on behalf of Mayor R.X. Paris, and you're the Athlete of the Month. Thank you very much.
If
Very good.
a parent, if you want to come down and take a
Did
picture.
any
you can.
parents want to take pictures? And did you get pictures? Okay, great. Next, we have the SOAR Student of the Month, and that's Jessica Bautista. How you doing, Jessica? Are you going to be at Decathlon? No, okay. That's okay. Okay, so Jessica here has a 3.5 high school GPA. From 2010 to 2011, you played defense and middle for soccer. 2009-2010, treasurer of student government. 2010 to 2011, vice president of student government. 2011, the spirit event coordinator of student government. And her goals are to major in biology and veterinary. You want to go into veterinary medicine?
Not anymore.
Or MD? Not anymore. What they have to change this. So what do you got to do? Got to say it on TV now. What?
I want to be a physician's assistant.
Okay, very good. And Ms. Bautista is the first-generation college bound in her family. Math and biology have been her most significant and challenging classes. Do you like calculus?
I haven't taken it yet.
Okay, that's good. That's good. I like that. So student government is important because she has a chance to be involved with school activities and obtains a sense of responsibility. She likes the feeling of accomplishment when events progress as planned with a positive outcome. Ms. Bautista enjoys soccer because it allows her to put her physical ability to the test as well as being able to effectively cooperate and triumph over her teammates. Like a triumph over your teammates. Get the other team, right?
Yes.
Very good. Well, on behalf of Mayor R.X. Paris and the City Council, congratulations on being the SOAR Student of the Month. Parents want pictures? Good. Now, next up, we'll call up Captain Bob Johnson. Oh, there you go. I don't recognize you in a suit almost.
Thank you, Vice Mayor, council members. Really appreciate the opportunity to recognize some of Lancaster Station's most productive personnel. We do this each quarter, and I think it's very well deserved to do it in this public forum. Today we recognize 3 of our individuals that are here today, a deputy sheriff, a law enforcement technician, and our crime analyst. What they've done during the first quarter, for those that have been watching the news or reading the papers, crime has risen a little bit in the Antelope Valley, and these 3 individuals exceeded our expectations in performance, from patrol to analyzing crimes to processing subpoenas, registering our 290s, which are sex offenders. They have gone far above what our expectations could have asked for. So we thank you again for giving us this opportunity to recognize them. So I'd like to call up Deputy Dustin Carr, Crime Analyst Alan Paiolato, and Law Enforcement Technician Melissa Dorsey.
Signature.
Melissa loves to speak in public, so she's going to give about a 25-minute speech.
I thought we had, what are these 2? Bob? Oh, they're not here. Okay. You want to announce their names?
Yeah.
Okay.
There were 2 other individuals. The deputies we recognize for each shift. Dustin works the early morning shift while most of us are sleeping. And then there was 2 other, the day shift, which is Alex Smith. He's one of our training officers, couldn't make it this afternoon. And a PM training officer, and Thiago Andrade. So they're also being recognized. So again, thank you.
Thanks, Kevin. Thank you. At this time, we have the chairman of the Tapestry Commission, Sue Dell, is going to do a presentation.
Good afternoon, Vice Mayor, City Council, and City of Lancaster. I'm Sue Dell. I'm the chair of the Lancaster Human Relations Commission, and our commissioners are going to do a brief presentation on the 3 programs that we now have in place on behalf of the city to serve our city council and the residents of the Antelope Valley. Last year, Mayor Rex Parris created the City of Lancaster's Human Relations Commission and named it Tapestry, after the threads of different colors that are woven to make beautiful cloth. As we defined what we wanted to do for this city, we established a mission statement that recognized our differences as valuable, acknowledged that we are all in this valley together, and advocated that each of us needs to be a successful, healthy, productive citizen. To that end, we decided that the mission of the City of Lancaster's Tapestry Commission is to celebrate our uniqueness, embrace common viewpoints, and create opportunities to flourish.
On March 2nd, 2011, the Tapestry Commission held its first meeting, a meet and greet held at Beck's. The participants shared about themselves, and we developed a chart of diversity to outline some of the differences between us.
The committee members have included Founding Chair Sue Dell, David Paul, Vivian Kamori, Dr. Mark Marshall, Janine Militello, Dr. Arisa Muhammad, Arturo Castañón, and we're also grateful from the input from past members, Andrea Boyd-Bloom, Kevin Von Tongen, and Matt Himlin.
Our makeup has included a broad range of diverse community input, including senior citizens over the age of 55, racial diversity, range of sexual orientation, physically disabled persons, a non-citizen resident, and veteran status, and a wide range of religious and spiritual beliefs. We also represent interests in a wide variety of occupational fields, including agricultural and mining, business, legal, social services, art and media, and education.
We have held 2-hour meetings twice per month since 3/15/11, or 60 hours of meetings. We are currently holding 6 open meetings and 18 working meetings per year. We also produced a DVD to introduce Tapestry to our City Council last fall. Our current programs include the Expungement Program. Expungement helps to remove the stigma of criminal status by assisting a qualified applicant in removing a conviction from his or her record. Often, a criminal conviction prevents an individual from pursuing a course of study or obtaining a job in their field of training. We have evaluated 15 expungement applications from 11 AV residents, completed and filed 4 petitions for 4 applicants, and we have 2 petitions still in process. We are proud to announce 4 expungements granted by the criminal court. Residents interested in obtaining help with an expungement can go to the city's website to the Tapestry Commission's link and complete an application at www.cityoflancasterca.org.
Our second program is our Neighborhood to Neighborhood Mediation Program. We have designed a free mediation referral program that reflects our desires to serve Lancaster residents who have grievances with one another so they can address those concerns in a friendly, comfortable, neutral atmosphere. Many issues can benefit from clear, constructive communication, and participants may thereby avoid litigation. This program also hopes to reduce the number of hours spent by both city staff and the Sheriff's Department trying to help neighbors resolve differences. We have provided 8-hour orientation training and currently prepared with 4 certified mediators. We have 1 mediation in process and have 10 additional volunteer mediators available for future scheduled mediations. Residents interested in the neighbor-to-neighbor mediation program, either due to a conflict or wanting to volunteer, can go to the city's website to the Tapestry Commission link and complete an application at www.cityoflancasterca.org.
Our third program is our Weavers Open Forum presentations, which occur every other month here in the council chambers. Our next Weavers will be July 11th. Tapestry invites representatives from organizations serving diverse memberships or clients to present at a public meeting the purpose of their organization and to share their ideas for partnering with the Tapestry Commission. This presentation is a 5-minute opportunity to share their mission, the services they provide, the target populations, and what the Tapestry Commission can help them do. We request proactive presentations only and are not providing a forum for diatribes, grievances, or problems without proposed solutions. So far, we have entertained presentations from several organizations, including these on the screen. Interested groups can go to our website and complete a Weavers application at the City of Lancaster, ca.org.
We also act as ambassadors to the diverse community we serve here in the Antelope Valley by appearing on behalf of the city at various meetings, celebrations, and community events such as these.
But we're not done. Some of the projects we're now discussing but are still developing include presentations in conjunction with the Neighborhood Vitalization Commission and Criminal Justice Commission to both law enforcement branches as well as to students regarding identities, rights, and responsibilities regarding law enforcement. And a roundtable of culturally diverse community groups to identify the service needs of our community compared to the allocation of the Los Angeles County services being provided down below. And a showing of the PG version of Bully the Movie with a student presentation from Not in Our Town. We love what we do for the City of Lancaster, and we're anxious to do more. We want to thank so much Mayor Paris, Vice Mayor, and the council members for empowering us to acknowledge the contributions of all of the people in this valley, to help iron out the conflicts when there's a difference of opinion, and to assist those who deserve to clear up the wreckage of their past and become productive employees in Lancaster. Thank you.
Vice Mayor Smith, would it be okay if I added one thing to that?
No.
Thank you, sir.
No, go ahead.
I'd like to first thank Brenda Gamlowski, who's a staff member who's worked with this group, has done an amazing job. But, working with these people, I've had the opportunity for a little bit. It's been a true treat to work with people that just care so deeply about their community, and they're out there trying to fix problems and help people, not for fame. They don't get in the paper. They don't hold press conferences. What they do is they do their job, they help people, and they truly care about their community, and it's a pleasure to know all of these folks.
Very good. Thank you.
Yeah, I'd like to add to that, Mark. I agree with you. I think that's what we're all about here in our community is knowing each other's differences in whatever areas they may be and respecting each other for that and making our community, like we're saying, productive citizens in our community. And I applaud you, Susan, and your team for making a difference in our community. And like Mark was saying, we don't complain, but we do something about it. And the Tapestry is a great example of that. So thank you very, very much. We appreciate you very much.
Next up, we have Norm Andrews from the Pete Knight Veterans Home for a presentation, which I found out he was my neighbor when he almost ran me over when I was running one morning, but...
I think that's an exaggeration, Vice Mayor.
Yeah.
Vice Mayor Smith, members of the City Council, Mr. Bezigian, members of staff, I'm here today to share with you and kind of give you an update on the Veterans Home. I know many of you were very much involved in the development and the location of the Veterans Home here in Lancaster. It opened a little over 2 years ago, and I think it's time that you get an update. The Veterans Home, for those that aren't familiar, I mean, people normally think that if it's a veterans organization, it's one organization. There are really two main veterans organizations. One is the California Department of Veterans Affairs, which represents CalVet and runs the home here in Lancaster. The other is the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs. Most folks, when they say VA or veteran, they're thinking USDVA, not CalVet. So I want to just clear that distinction. We are two separate organizations. The CalVet homes in California currently are 6. We have Lancaster, Ventura, Chula Vista, West LA, Barstow, and Yountville. Soon we'll have 2 more coming online, depending on budget with the state, but we're hoping within the next 2 years we'll have another veterans home opening in Fresno and one in Redding. The William J. P. Knight California Veterans Home currently has a census of 56 veterans. We have one more that should be coming here in the next week, which will bring us up to 57. Means we have 3 vacancies. 20% of our residents were homeless. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that they were sleeping behind Walmart, but they didn't have homes. They were either sleeping in their car, they were trying to find motels they could stay in, but didn't have homes. Of our current veterans, 23 are World War II veterans, 13 are Korean War veterans, 10 are Vietnam veterans. We have 7 non-vet spouses. One of the benefits that is available to veterans, if they're married and they qualify, they can bring their spouse with them and live in the home. Should they die before their spouse has the option of staying in the home. We currently have 3 non-spouse veterans whose husbands have passed away that have decided to stay in the home. We have 3 peacetime vets. Now, of the World War II veterans, I have 3 female World War II veterans. As you can do the math, the World War II veterans are getting up in age. I have a 99-year-old, I have a 98-year-old, a 96-year-old, a 94-year-old. Depending on when you went into World War II, if you went in the beginning, you're in your 90s. If you got in 44 or 45, you're in your high 80s. The state of California has about 2 million veterans. We're losing 2 World War II veterans a week. They're at that age. So it won't be very long, and we'll be saying, here's the last World War II veteran. I think it's important that you understand what's required in order for somebody to qualify for the veterans home. They need to be a veteran, and that's defined by having served active duty. I am a veteran. I spent 30 years in the United States Armed Forces. I enlisted in 1966 during Vietnam. I retired in 1999 as Lieutenant Colonel in the Army. We have veterans out at the home. Each one has an incredible story. Now, we have papers, we have students that come out and interview these veterans, and they write up their stories, and it's pretty amazing. I don't know how many of you remember the TV show, the Baa Black Sheep, Pappy Boyington. We have a Navy pilot that flew with that group. We have a Navy veteran that filmed off a destroyer not far from Japan, the Mushroom Cloud, when we dropped the atomic bomb on Hiroshima. Every one of them has a very unique and very interesting story. What we have at the Veterans Home is a community resource, and we invite the community to come and visit, to tour, to spend some time with the veterans if they're interested in some of that history. We certainly invite the schools. I want to compliment the community in the sense that we have more community support in our Veterans Home in Lancaster than any other Veterans Home in California. Every week, we probably have 3 to 4 different organizations that come in and do something for the veterans. Every American Legion, VFW, the Sergeants Association in Edwards, Rotary, Elks Lodge, all these organizations, and I'm just naming a few of them, they all come in and they do things. We had a business here in Lancaster that donated 400 Jethawk tickets vouchers for the veterans so they could go to the ball games. That's the kind of support that we have in the community. I think it's amazing. The cost for a resident, if they qualify as a veteran to come into the home, they have to be at least 55 unless they're disabled. they pay 55% of whatever their retirement income is. So if their pension is $500 a month, they pay 55% of that, and that's their rent. If it's $3,000, they pay 55% of that, to a maximum of $4,000. And that includes room, board, activities. They have no co-pays or deductibles. They have to have insurance when they come in. Most of them are either on Medicare or they're a service-related disability and are on the VA federal health benefits. We have a very unique project that we're in the middle of right now. It's the F100 project. It's going to be a very media visible kind of an event. The Marine Corps detachment in Miramar has agreed to airlift the F-100 that is currently being restored at the Mojave Airport with a helicopter from Mojave to Lancaster. We'll be setting it down. Now, the helicopter can't set it down. It has to be within 100 feet of any vertical structure. And because of our light standards at the home, he can't set it down in the home. But they will set it 100 yards up the street from us on 30th Street West. We're working with the staff, the city of Lancaster, to close that road, and we appreciate that assistance. At that point, what they're going to do is they're going to tow the F-100 up the street until it's across from where we're going to lift it over the fence, and we've got a 40-foot crane that's going to lift it over the fence, set it down in the driveway, and then lift it up and set it on the site where we're going to locate it. It's going to be located there at the corner of 30th and I. The veterans are very excited about that. That plane is a replica of the plane that Pete Knight, the namesake of the home, flew 253 combat missions in Vietnam. The veterans believe that that is a visible demonstration of the service that they provided this nation. And as a grateful state and a grateful city, we appreciate the community's support of that. Would invite any of you to come out and watch that. It's going to be June 27th, and unless there's something else big happening in the news, I suspect that that will be on most of the stations in most of the state. It's not often you get to see a helicopter lift an F-100 and transport it to a veteran's home. So we're excited about that. Are there any questions? Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hope we're all there on that day. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if you wanted to speak on any item tonight, consent calendar items, agenda items, non-agenda items, please fill out a card and turn them in. The consent calendar consists of items that are routine business of which minimal or no discussion or special presentation is contemplated or required. These items can be acted upon as a whole with one motion and a single vote. If you desire to speak on any item on the consent calendar, you may fill out one card, and you can speak on any of the consent calendar items that you want, and you get 3 minutes. All speaker cards must be filled out prior to any of the item being called, and this applies for agenda and non-agendized items, and that's to conduct an orderly business. So, City Manager, do we have any agenda? Oh, and just to remind you that you get 3 minutes to speak, and the yellow light will come on when you have 30 seconds, and the red light will go on when you're finished. City Manager, any items to be removed?
No, sir.
Okay, I'm going to turn it over to Chair Zato.
Do we have any speaker cards for the Housing Authority minutes?
No, we do not.
Do we have a motion and a second for the adoption of the Housing Authority regular minutes?
So moved. I'll second that.
Let's vote. And the minutes have been adopted. Do we have any speaker cards for the Housing Authority consent calendar?
No speaker cards.
Motion and a second.
I'll make a motion as the consent calendar is comprised.
I'll second that.
Let's vote. And it passes. I will now turn the meeting back over to Vice Mayor Smith.
Okay, now we have council items. We have the minutes before us. Do I hear a motion for the minutes or any changes on it?
Motion to approve M1.
I second.
Second. Call for a vote. Okay, now for the City Council Successor Agency, we have the minutes for that. Do I hear any...
Motion to approve M2.
I second.
Okay, consent calendar. Any items that anybody wants removed? We have...
I'd like CC8 pulled, please.
CC8 is pulled.
And CC3.
We want CC3 pulled. And CC8 is pulled. Okay, we have one council consent calendar card. Linda William. Linda William here.
Good afternoon. Thank you guys for your time. I'm sure there's going to be lots of things that you can and probably cannot do with the fact that there's going to be solar fields, but I'm hoping that maybe, I don't have children, and I know it's a liability issue, I've brought it up before, but maybe where they're talking about the zoning, can do something maybe with a skate park or something along those lines. If you read the Good Neighbor Handbook, it says that it's illegal to skateboard in the city of Lancaster. I have a bunch of kids that live in my neighborhood. For the most part, they don't really get bothered, but they do know they can get in trouble. I'm thinking with the way that Lancaster is starting to partner with people, bringing things in, such as the soccer fields, the Big 8 softball tournament, maybe we can get a skate park called Tony Hawk, and he can bring some people. And then from there, we can still be on TV. The kids will get to play, and we'll make a little money in the process. So as you guys are putting things together, if somebody can go through the Good Neighbor Handbook and look at some of the things that they say, you can do this, but you can't do this, with the help of the youth. As it gets warm, the kids come out. Now they're skateboarding where they're not supposed to, so on and so forth. In general, we have a lot, because it says in here that there's a possibility of maybe a park. I understand it's a liability issue. Makes people sign off. You have to show up with your parent. Your parent says, hey, guess what? My kid busts his head open, it's on us. I don't know how that really works, because I don't know how well that could work, but I'm thinking if Palmdale has one, we should have one as well, and just to give something, and then, like I said, maybe partner with somebody who has some funds, and we get on TV, and everybody comes to the boulevard or whatever else they need to do. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Do I hear a motion for the consent calendar as currently comprised?
So moved.
I'll second that.
Call for a vote. We now have CC3.
Yes, I need to recuse myself. I have a financial interest. We received $161 from the city for Cooking with Class programs with the university.
I'll move we approve CC3.
Just 1 second. Thank you. Let it be. Let the record reflect that Councilwoman Johnson has left the room. Do I hear a motion on CC3? That was your motion? Second?
I'll second that.
Call for a vote. If someone could ask Councilwoman Johnson to come back, please. Let the record reflect that Councilwoman Johnson is now back in the room. So we have CC8.
I would just like a report on it, please. Sure, I could ask. I'd like to ask Robert Neal to give the report, but what I'd like to say is we've heard the council loud and clear about trying to find as much as possible ways to do resurfacing, reconstruction of roadways. As the economy's taken a hit up and down California, you can see the impacts, and I think we've been able to maintain our roads pretty well, but there's some necessary improvements that need to be made, and this is the first step towards that. You'll see some more in the budget we present to you in June. And Councilmember Christ, if it's okay, I'd like Robert to give a brief report.
Thank you. Vice Mayor, City Council, we have gone out and advertised a project for our 2012 pavement management program. We received 3 bids. And I'm going to ask that you consider awarding that project tonight. We focused on streets that we thought were needy. And when I say that, what we do is actually a scientific analysis, look at the pavement indexes, and what happens in streets is that over time there's different levels of repair that are required for them. Our analysis is to look at an optimum expenditure. We also look at the types of funding that we have available to make a project work. In this particular project, roughly $2.1 million comes from Prop C monies, which means that we have to use it on streets with transit. We also have TDA Article 8 money and Measure R money. So our bid is really to do road repair that we think is absolutely essential on Avenue I and Division in a couple locations that are described in the staff report. Our low bid, which is close to our engineering estimate, was $3.4 million for this 2012 program. So be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions?
I don't have any questions. I have a statement. I just wanted the general public to understand that we are going to go back out and start working on the roads because the general public is telling us that, they would like us to start taking a look at the roads too. So thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Any other questions, comments?
Yeah, I wanted to speak on behalf of when Marvin speaks specifically about the public. When I walked precincts in this last campaign, I think I knocked on about 3,000 doors, and that was probably after crime. That seemed to be the number one concern of people here in Lancaster was the street conditions. So I think that Mark has heard from me, and I know he's heard from Marvin, so I think he's getting, I'm sure from the rest of the council, he's getting some loud and clear directions that we really need to focus on the streets. With that, I'll make a motion for accepting CC8.
I second.
Call for a vote. And just, I think years ago, I think you were just on the council, but we had said that, and so now maybe it's time to start paving some roads. We said we'll lower the crime rate and put all the money in there, even if we have to drive on dirt roads. And so we diverted some money for more cops, and now the crime rate's gone down. So, okay, public hearing number 1. There is no speaker card, so unless there's an objection, I'll waive the reading of the staff report and open up the public hearing. There are no speaker cards, and I'll take any questions or entertain any motions.
I'll move we adopt resolution number 12-22.
Do I hear a second?
I second.
Call for a vote. We have PH2. There are no speaker cards, so without objection from the council, we'll waive the reading of the staff report and entertain any motions or any questions.
I'll move we approve PH2.
I second.
Call for a vote. Okay, we have JNB1. There are no speaker cards, so we'll waive the reading of the staff report and entertain any motions separately for the City Council recommendation of the successor agencies.
I'll move we adopt resolution number 12-23.
And that's on behalf of the council. Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Call for a vote. Now on behalf of the successor agency, do I hear any motions?
I'll move that we adopt resolution number SA 01-12.
Second?
Second.
Call for a vote. Thank you. We have one speaker card on CNB1. That's Diane Adams. But Ms. Adams, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Where? Oh, okay. This item has been continued. Well, it's got to be continued. It's requested it's continued, so the mayor's here because he's the one that is going to be running that part of it. So do I hear a motion to have it continue until June 12th?
Speak on it tonight, if I may, sir.
It's not, we're not taking any action on them, so you can speak on it the next time, ma'am.
I took a cab here, sir, because I'm a senior citizen.
Ron?
Okay. Okay, but we're not going to vote on it tonight, so you can speak on it tonight.
I'd like to provide the information.
Okay, ma'am.
Sure.
Go on.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that courtesy. I'm Diane Adams. I've lived in Lancaster for 12 years. And like many citizens, men and women alike, and particularly those of us who are now in that elderly category, we bring with us a background and a lifetime of experience. And that is why I'm here tonight on the possibility of the appointment of Councilmember Mann to the Sanitation District. Down below, one of the more interesting subjects that came to the forefront was that of not just of a conflict of interest, but what is considered an incompatible office. I brought with me just a few of the documents that I have concerning that issue. Under the Fair Political Practice Commission brochure, it states what consists and what makes an office incompatible. Even though many council members serve on various boards and commissions and agencies, there are those that have conflictive interjurisdictional conflicts of interest. And I believe that that is the case for the Sanitation District. There has been controversy for years now, and everyone making, of course, a political sensationalism out of it, if I may. In a confidentially waived legal analysis from the city attorney from down below, it lists the various types of positions that have already deemed to be incompatible. We've heard our mayor and the members of the council being outraged about the Section 8 housing abuse, which I certainly understand because many seniors are waiting for approval on that waiting list. And the mayor has actually stated repeatedly that he's outraged that no one will listen to him, that as the mayor of the city of Lancaster, he has absolutely, supposedly, no voice in the county housing authority. And that is because it has already been deemed to be an incompatible office. And on the sanitation district position, and Mr. Mann, I can only suggest, sir, that you get some legal advice, because I think the members of this city council have been taken down a rough road with inappropriate recommendations from your city attorney's office. I appreciate very much that you've allowed me to speak, since it was an inconvenience. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Do I hear a motion to continue this item until June 12th?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
I second.
Call for a vote. And council item, we have council agenda item 1. I'll be making the nominations on behalf of the mayor, and he has a list of here. So we have the nomination and appointments for the Planning Commission, Diana Cook, Randy Hall, Cassandra Harvey, Raj Mali, Fabian Terracciano, James Vos, and Sandy Smith. So do I hear, that's on the, I'll make the motion that we appoint them on behalf of the mayor, and do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
I'll call for a vote. Right. Thank you. It's unanimous. We're going to swear him in now.
I'm prepared to swear Sandy in and also any other planning commissioners that are present if they would like to. Otherwise, I'll swear them in at their next study session.
So any of you that like to come up here and swear in en masse?
Does CA2 need the swearing in also?
Oh, okay. You wait till everybody gets up there.
Yes, absolutely.
Raise your right hand, please. Solemnly swear that you will support and defend the Constitution of the United States, Constitution of California, against all enemies, and you will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of California, that you take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and you will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which you are about to enter. I do have paperwork for you to sign.
Good. Okay, good.
Thank you. Congratulations or condolences for all of you. I sat through Brian Ludicke's lectures, both Ken and I. So where is Brian anyway? Oh, okay. We had some long meetings. Yeah. CA2, nomination of appointments. I'm going to make these appointments on behalf of Mayor Paris, and I'll move that we appoint Kitty Zato and Brett Hawes, who is here in the audience today, to the High Desert Power Authority's Board of Directors.
I'll second that.
Thank you. I'll call for a vote. Unanimous. Congratulations. Okay, city managers, directors' announcements.
I do have a few. I'll be quick. This was just handed to me that Toastmasters District 33, which includes Las Vegas, Santa Barbara, North Los Angeles, Ventura, Kern, Inyo, Fresno, and Stanislaus County, on May 5th, named Sandra Johnson as their International Communications and Leadership Award winner for outstanding service to her community. So congratulations.
Yay.
I'm speechless. Thank you.
Wow, that's ironic.
Just think you get points for that. Marco would say that's a first.
Yeah, he would. It is actually a first, yeah. No, it truly was an honor. It really was an honor. Considering that when I was young, I was very nervous to speak in general. Coming from another country, I spoke a second language, Spanish, and so learning English was a little difficult. But being honored with this, I think, proved that my mother taught me well on how to speak up. So thank you very much.
Very good. Anything else?
We also have, starting May 31st, the Sierra Toyota Scion Concert Series with the Thursday night farmers market in conjunction through the generous donation of Mr. Jim Haas and the hard work of Amanda Haas. We're going to have music every farmers market Thursday from May 31st through the summer. It's a great way to come out and have just your date night or meet friends, and I'd like you to give a big hand to Jim Haas and Sierra Toyota for their generous contribution. Also, we will be announcing this week a cooling center at the museum through a generous grant through Southern California Edison. Also, I'd like to say that I've been out to the Jethawks now twice, and for those folks that haven't been out there in a while, Derek Sharp and the general manager are doing a great job. They have new promotions. Every day there's a promotion. There's new additions. The team is playing well, so it's really an opportunity to get out there and have a great, great summer evening. So you should all try to go to the Jethawks. And finally, I know Vice Mayor Smith may not be able to announce it, but I can. Make sure you get out and vote on June 5th in our primary elections.
Thank you. Madam Clerk.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the time for any person who would like to address the City Council on non-agendized matters. You may fill out a speaker card. You'll find them at the back of the council chambers. We respectfully request that you fill the cards out completely and print as clearly as possible so that if necessary, the City Council, City Manager, or the City staff will be able to contact you. As much as we appreciate your request to make comments before your 3 minutes begin, please understand your time begins when your name is announced. Individual speakers are limited to 3 minutes each. If you choose to ask a question during this time, any response by council will not extend your 3 minutes. When you approach the podium, you'll see 3 lights. The green light comes on when your time begins. The yellow light comes on when you have 30 seconds remaining. And the red light comes on when your time is up. We ask that you be considerate of the allotted time to allow other speakers to have their 3 minutes as well. Following this procedure will allow for a smooth and timely process for the meeting. State law prohibits the City Council from taking action on items not on the agenda, and your matter will be referred to the City Manager. Thank you.
Dan Selmser. At this time, we're ready to adjourn. Chairman Zato. I'm ready to adjourn you. I guess I said that too fast. But
Sure, other people disagree, huh? A Housing Authority meeting is adjourned until June 12, 2012.
And I will adjourn the City Council meeting to Tuesday, June 12, 2012 at 5 p.m. Thank you.